Good afternoon, students. I want to continue the concept of current electricity. So, in the last class, you learned about Ohm's law. You understood the statement of Ohm's law? Yes, anybody? What is the statement of Ohm's law? What does its meaning? What does the Ohm's law says to you? According to Ohm's law, the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the ends of the conductor, provided that, yes, what should be provided there, or what should be maintained at constant temperature, and other physical conditions must be maintained at a constant level. So, Ohm's law is the current flowing through a conductor or a wire is always proportional. It is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the ends of the conductor, provided that temperature and other conditions are kept constant. So, today, and what is the mathematical form of Ohm's law? You learned two formula for Ohm's law. One is V equals to IR, and the second one is J equals to sigma E. V equals to IR, where V is potential difference, I is electric current, R is electric resistance, and J equals to sigma E, where J is S and S. Yes, you are right. Tell me, J is current density. What you are thinking, that is absolutely right. J is current density, sigma is electrical, yes, electrical conductivity, and E is electric field, right? So now today I want to tell limitations of Ohm's law. Limitations of Ohm's law. What are the limitations of Ohm's law? See, limitations of Ohm's law. Here limitations means negative points or disadvantages or demerits of Ohm's law. So its direct meaning is where Ohm's law is not used, that those points are its limitations. So see here, first point, here Ohm's law where it can be used. This is the first point. Ohm's law, see, Ohm's law is applicable. Ohm's law is applicable only at a constant temperature. Ohm's law can be used for the devices which are having constant temperature. So it means Ohm's law is used only at a fixed temperature. So its another meaning is here Ohm's law is not used for a device having minimum temperature and a device having maximum temperature. So what you can write the first point, Ohm's law is not applicable. Ohm's law is not applicable at high temperature and at low temperature. So it is used only at, applicable only at fixed temperature. First point is Ohm's law is, what is the first limitation? Ohm's law is not, it is not applicable. Ohm's law is not applicable at low and high temperatures. Low and high temperatures. So what is the first negative point about Ohm's law? Ohm's law is not applicable. Ohm's law is not used. Ohm's law is not used for a device which is at minimum temperature, which is having minimum temperature and which is having maximum temperature. So it is used only for a constant temperature. It is used only for a constant temperature. Second point, Ohm's law is used for conductors used for conductors having constant temperatures, having constant temperature. Third point, see ammeter, galvanometer, voltmeter. Ammeter means current measuring instrument. Voltmeter means a device which is used for measuring potential difference. Voltmeter is the device for measuring potential difference. Ammeter ಅಂದ್ರೆ current measurement ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಳಸುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್. ಇದು ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಂತಿರಲ್ಲ, ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅನ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು. ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಡಿವೈಸ್. ಗ್ಯಾಲ್ವನೋಮೀಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಗ್ಯಾಲ್ವನೋಮೀಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ, ಇದು ಕರೆಂಟ್, ಸಣ್ಣ ಕರೆಂಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ, ಎ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೆಜರಿಂಗ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ pico ampere, nano ampere, pico 10 to the power of minus 12 ampere, nano amperes 10 to the power of minus 9 amperes. ಸಣ್ಣ ಕರೆಂಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ, see device, galvanometer is a device which identifies a small current in a device, a small currents. So voltmeter potential difference na ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯುತ್ತೆ, ammeter current na ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯುತ್ತೆ, galvanometer ಅತಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ನ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, right? So here first one is Ohm's law is not applicable at low and high temperatures. Second one, Ohm's law is used for conductors having constant temperature. So first point ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ second point ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Third point is ammeter, voltmeter, galvanometer ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ಅವುಗಳು ಏನಾಗ್ತವ, ದೇ ಒಬೇ ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ. ಈ ಅಮ್ಮೀಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ I ಅನ್ನೋದು V ಗೆ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. I is directly proportional to the V in case of ammeter, in case of galvanometer, in case of voltmeter. So these are the devices which obey Ohm's law. So therefore these devices are called so ಏನು ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ohmic devices ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ohmic, OHMIC, ohmic devices. These are called ohmic devices. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಮ್ಮೀಟರ್ ಒಂದೇನ, ಅಮ್ಮೀಟರ್, ವೋಲ್ಟ್ಮೀಟರ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನ್ ಓಮಿಕ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ನಾನ್ ಓಮಿಕ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ Non-ohmic devices are the devices which do not obey Ohm's law. For example, semiconductor. Ohm's law na obey ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. semiconductor ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಒಬೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಒಂದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಬಹುದು. ಅದು ನಾನ್ ಓಮಿಕ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್. ಓಮಿಕ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ I ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದರೆ V ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, I ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದರೆ V ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಓಮಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನಾನ್ ಓಮಿಕ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ಈ ಓಮಿಕ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ಅಮ್ಮೀಟರ್, ವೋಲ್ಟ್ಮೀಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. ನಾನ್ ಓಮಿಕ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ಸೆಮಿಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್, ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಯೂಮ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್, ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ಸ್, ಡಯೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾವ. ಡಯೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನದವ, ನಾನ್ ಓಮಿಕ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರೀಬಹುದು, ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನು ಬರೀಬಹುದು, Ohm's law is applicable only for ohmic devices. Ohm's law is applicable only for ohmic devices. Fourth point, Ohm's law is applicable only for ohmic devices. This is the third part. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ohmic devices ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ Ohm's law ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದು, ಆ ohmic devices ಅಂದ್ರೆ Ohm's law ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಪ್ರಕಾರನೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಐ ಮತ್ತು ವಿ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಒಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ರೀಸನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಓಮಿಕ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ and here Ohm's law is applicable only for ohmic devices. So it is understood Ohm's law is not applicable for non-ohmic devices. In examination section you write any one point. In ohmic devices ಗೆ Ohm's law ಬಳಕೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾನ್ ohmic ಗೆ ಬಳಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು 2 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ 2 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Write any 2 limitations of Ohm's law. So here see first point is a very clear point. Low and high temperature ಇದು ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವೆರಡು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತವೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಯು ರೈಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ohmic devices. ohmic devices ಗೆ ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನ್ ohmic devices ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ಅದು ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅದನ್ನೇನು ಬರೆಯೋ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿ Ohm's law is not used for conduction of electricity through gases. Conduction of electricity through gases. ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಸಿಯಸ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್, ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್, ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ಸ್, ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್. ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಸಿಯಸ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕಂಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ Ohm's law ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಈ ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನದ Ohm's law is not used for conduction of electricity through gases. So these are, you try to remember any 2 points from these 4 points. So limitations of Ohm's law, it is usually asked for 2 marks in examination. So here the first limitation is it is not used for low and high temperatures. Low and high temperatures use ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ high constant temperature ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದನ್ನ ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Next it is applicable only for ohmic devices. Ohm's law is not used for conduction of electricity through gases, right? So next one we shall try to understand one new concept in current electricity. Yes, what are ohmic devices? Ohmic devices are the devices which obey Ohm's law. And non-ohmic devices are the devices which do not obey Ohm's law. And give an example of ohmic device. Ammeter, voltmeter, galvanometer. Give an example of non-ohmic device: semiconductor, diodes, vacuum tubes, crystals, like that, etc. Diode, semiconductor, diodes ಮುಂದೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೆಮಿಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಯೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ PN ಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಡಯೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಮುಂದೆ ನೀವು ಇದೇ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಯರ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತೀರಿ. ಸೆಮಿಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಯೋಡ್ಸ್ ಇವು ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ನ ಒಬೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಸಿ conductor, when you think of a conductor, this is the conductor. A conductor, see, conductor means it is a substance, metals, conductor and metals, the wire ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ conductors, conductors, which can allow the flow of electric charges through them very easily. That substance is called conductor. Conductors are the substances which allows the flow of electric charges through them very easily. There is no opposition for the electric charges to move from one point to another point in a conductor, right? So they are the substances which can allow the electric current to pass through its surface without giving any resistance. They are conductors. So usually how many electrons are there in a conductor? Just electrons irtava annodu. See, in a conductor there are 10 to the power of 29 electrons. 10 to the power of 29 electrons per cubic volume of the conductor. Cubic volume of the conductor. Cubic volume of the conductor. Its meaning is per unit volume. ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟವಾದ ಒಂದು ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಾವು 1 ಮೀಟರ್ ಲೆಂತ್, 1 ಮೀಟರ್ ಕ್ಯೂಬಿಕ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ ಇದು? 1 ಮೀಟರ್ ಲೆಂತ್, 1 ಮೀಟರ್ ಹೈಟ್, 1 ಮೀಟರ್ ಬ್ರೆಡ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್, ಒಂದು ವೈರ್ ನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯೂಬಿಕ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಇರ್ತಾವ ಅಂತ ಏನಾದರೂ ನಾವು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ there are 10 to the power of 29 electrons present per unit volume of the conductor. See here, now conductor, we shall try to give one shape for a conductor by attaching positive plate and by making the arrangements such that a conductor will have positive plate and negative plate. Consider a cylinder, a cylindrical body. This is the cylindrical body having two disc shaped structures. See here, this is the positive plate, as it is containing only positive charges. Positive plate, and this is negative plate, right? And this whole diagram represents a conductor. This is a conductor. Conductor means wire is the conductor. Yes, conductor is nothing but this is simply a wire ni ನಾವು positive and negative end anta ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು imagination na ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. So you consider a cylindrical body having two disc shaped structures. Here one end is positive plate and another end is negative plate, and this region is the length of the conductor. ಇದನ್ನ ಏನು ಕರೀತೀವಿ? length of the conductor. So now see, in the absence of electric field, E equals to 0. Electric field is 0. Electric field equals to 0. So there is no electric field in this wire. Now this conductor, it is not having any electric field. So inside, see, in this region there are electrons. 10 to the power of 29 electrons. ಇದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ. ಇವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್, ಇದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್, ಇದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ see, inside there are many number electrons. How many electrons are there? 10 to the power of 29 electrons are there. And now these electrons and there is no electric field. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳೋರಿಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳೋರಿಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಒಬ್ರು ಹೇಳೋರಿಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳೋರಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ? ಈ ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಗಳು ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. If there is no teacher in the classroom, how the students behaves? They behaves exactly like as the electrons in this conductor. Now they start behaving. You see here, now the electrons. Here is one electron. This electron moves this direction. Here is another electron. This electron moves this direction. Right? Now here is the third electron. This moves like this. Here is the fourth electron. It moves like this. Fifth is this side. Sixth this side. Right? 7th this side, 8th this side, 10th this side. So here the movement of all the electrons are in different directions. They move randomly in all directions. This direction, this direction, this direction, this direction, this direction. There is no specific directions for the electrons to be moved inside the conductor. So electrons are not having any restriction in they move with the thermal velocity, thermal speed. Thermal speed means they get this thermal speed with the temperature given to the conductor. On the basis of the temperature of the conductor, they will get a speed called thermal speed, and with the thermal speed they move in all directions. So when these electrons are moving in different directions, their effects are cancelled by each other. This electron this electron, opposite one which is coming in opposite direction, and this electron cancels the effect of this electron. 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 So this electron cancels the effect of this electron. So thereby here there is no electric current. Here there is no electric current in the wire when the electric field is zero. Electric field idilla anದಾಗ electric field idilla anದಾಗ immediate ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ electric current ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ electric field. When electric field is zero, when electric field is zero, I equals to zero. Current becomes zero. When electric field is zero, electric current I becomes zero. Right? So now here we shall consider the case of presence of electric field. Presence of electric field. Now in this conductor, this is the conductor, this is the conductor. E equal to E is not zero. Electric field is applied here. Electric field is applied here. Electric field is applied. Electric field is not zero. Electric field is applied. Electric field is applied. So now there is the presence of electric field. There is the presence of electric field. Here electric field is applied to the wire. Same wire. This is also a wire. So when you apply the electric field, it says same thing. Positive plate. This is the positive plate, and this is the negative plate. Usually the direction of applied electric field. Usually the direction of applied electric field, it is taken along the direction of positive charges. Here, direction of this positive to negative. Here, the direction of applied electric field. So this is the external electric field applied. So this is in this direction. Now the electrons which are present inside the conductor, they are having one external electric field. They are supported and they are supported by an external electric field. Now their direction changes. Now they won't, when the teacher is inside the classroom, all the students will sit on their respective places, respective positions. So here also, now the electrons, they are not supposed to move in different directions. They won't move in zigzag path. Zigzag path are random directions. They don't follow the random directions. Now they follow a particular direction. They follow the particular direction. That direction is towards positive field. All the electrons, they start moving with some special velocity. Some special velocity against the electric field or in the direction of the positive plate, positive charges, in the direction of the positive charges. So now these electrons, they are moving, these electrons, they are moving in a direction of positive plate or against the direction of electric field with a special velocity called drift velocity. Drift velocity VD. Yes, what is a drift velocity? Here velocity cancels. Here velocity, there is no velocity here. Initial velocity u equals to 0 because all the electrons, they move in different directions. So electrons move opposite to one another. As a result of that, the velocity of the electrons, here it should be taken when the electric field is not applied. Initial velocity is 0. Initial velocity of the electrons in a conductor is always 0 because there is no electric field. But here when electric field is applied, the velocity is not 0. Now they will move with the velocity called VD, drift velocity. D represents drift, V represents velocity, drift velocity, right? What is drift velocity? Drift velocity is the average velocity. This is the average velocity with which all these electrons move in a direction opposite to the applied electric field inside the conductor is called drift velocity. Yes, what is a drift velocity? Drift velocity is the average velocity. It is the average velocity followed by the electrons of a conductor which moves opposite of the given electric field. Which are moving opposite of the applied electric field. That is called drift velocity. In drift velocity. Yes, one more time I am telling you. Drift velocity is the average velocity with which the free electrons in a conductor move opposite to the applied electric field. So when these electrons are moving in a direction opposite to the applied electric field, they collide with the atoms are fixed ions of the conductor. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ಕಡೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಕಡೆ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ. ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಇದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಅದ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಬರುವಾಗ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ ಇವು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ they collide with the atoms or fixed ions of the conductor in their path, and thereby see when one collision occurs, kinetic energy decreases. Kinetic energy speed kadime aagta barte. Kinetic energy they loses their kinetic energy, and once again with the help of applied field they are having extra kinetic energy and they move further, and next collision they once again loses kinetic energy, and due to the applied field they once again gains kinetic energy and moves further. So here see there is some time interval between two successive collisions taking place between these electrons and atoms or fixed ions of the conductor. There is some time gap is there. That time interval between successive collisions, two successive collisions of electrons and fixed ions or atoms of the conductor. That time interval is called relaxation time. Relaxation time tau is the symbol. What is the relaxation time between two periods? Maybe 5 minutes. A teacher gives 5 minutes rest for a class when one period completes. After the completion of first period, the time interval, the time gap for the arrival of next period teacher is at least 5 minutes. That is relaxation time. ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಿಷ ನಾವು ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 ನಿಮಿಷ. ಅದೇ 5 ನಿಮಿಷನೇ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೈಮ್ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ in a conductor there is some time gap. For the collisions. ಒಂದು collision ಆಯಿತು, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಗಳು ಬಂದು ಈ ಬಲಗಡೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಗಳು ಬಂದು ಆಟಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕೊಲೈಡ್ ಆದವು ಅಥವಾ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕೊಲೈಡ್ ಆದವು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಮುಗಿದು ಒಂದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಟೈಮ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಈ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಟೈಮ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರ? ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿನೋಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಟೋ. The symbol for relaxation time is tau. What is the relaxation time? Relaxation time is the, yes, relaxation time is the time interval between two successive collisions of electrons and electrons ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವ ಎರಡು collision ಆಗ್ತದ ಒಂದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್. ಈ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ನ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಗಳು ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಹೊಡಿತಾವ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬಿಡಿ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಗೋದು ಒಂದು ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಟೈಮ್ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ it decreases. See, suppose first 5 seconds ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಂತ್, ನಿಮಗೆ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ 5 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗೋಣ, ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮುಗಿಯೋಣ 5 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್. And see, just think what may be the relaxation time during the month of February, maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes, because the temperature related to exam increases in the month of April or March only. You are writing the final exam. So when temperature increases, when tension increases, we give a little time between the two periods. We give more preference to the studies. In the same manner here also relaxation time is inversely proportional to the temperature. When temperature increases, relaxation time decreases. Right? How does the relaxation time of the electrons depend on temperature? This is your question. Answer is inversely. Temperature ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗೋಣ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಗಳು ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಗೋದು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಗಳು ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಗೋಣ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ವಿತಿನ್ ಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್. ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದರೆ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಬಹಳ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗೋಣ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್. ಸೊ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ it is inversely proportional to the temperature of the conductors, temperature of the wires, right? So next one, after this you need to understand. See, now you learn two definitions. What is the drift velocity and what is the relaxation time? What is the drift velocity? This is the average velocity with which the free electrons in a conductor drift and move. Drift opposite to the applied external electric field. That is called drift velocity. And relaxation time is the time interval between two successive collisions taking place between electrons and the fixed ions or atoms of the conductor. And how does the relaxation time depends on temperature? Inversely. In the afternoon session, next class I am going to tell about expression for drift velocity.